Resilience really is our first line of defense, and because strong societies are as important as strong military forces. So that is why for NATO it is so critical to develop resilience within our nations and also collectively. We see it as a national responsibility, but there's also a collective aspect which helps allies strengthen each other's resilience. So NATO has adopted the 7 resilience baseline requirements, which focus on continuity of government, continuity of providing essential services to the public, and which help allies measure their levels of resilience. There's 3 key elements of NATO's approach to resilience. The first is a whole of government approach. This means that the entire government should work together in an interagency fashion to strengthen a country's capacity to prepare, absorb, and respond to unexpected disasters or other shocks. The second feature is a whole of society approach, which means that it's not only the government that has to be ready and work on resilience, but it's also the private sector, it's the not-for-profit sector, and it's civil society as a whole that has to come together in this approach. And the third feature that I would highlight is the all-hazard approach. That means that we need to be prepared, our societies need to be prepared for the full range of threats.
Now, considering Georgia's very specific geopolitical and domestic contexts, we could identify 4 broad governance areas or 4 broad dimensions to focus on in terms of resilience building. Those are political dimension, legal and institutional dimension, societal dimension, and public-private partnership. Specific instances of resilience building could include, for instance, in public-private dimension, inclusion of private actors in resilience building process. Private actors and business actors, they should have both ownership of and responsibility for resilience building processes in their respective areas. In area of societal governance, Georgia needs to embrace a whole of society approach, which means that every citizen, every group, every member of society should internalize the importance of resilience and should become a part of resilience building process.
For Georgia, that would be really helpful to understand that even that the war in Ukraine proved that during the war, that's extremely important issues of protection of critical infrastructure, cyber, health, governmental, cyber, all of this sphere. But that is not only about the war. That's any of the national disasters or any type of the crisis that can happen. You already have those principles, mechanisms, instruments, how to overcome quickly. It is not the emergency reaction. That is something to prepare your business, your government, and your society to overcome quickly and smoothly any difficulties or any crisis that you are experiencing.
At the level in Georgia, the NATO presences in Georgia, we have the substantial NATO-Georgia package, which is our flagship practical cooperation package. One of the initiatives in particular, the so-called crisis management initiative, helps Georgia build its capacity in the field of crisis management and resilience. We do this particularly by working with the government administration and supporting its functions in this sphere.